Hey everyone, talking about Zafferano by Acqua di Parma. This is an exclusive to Harrod's department store in the UK. The notes in it are bergamot, mandarin, coriander seed, bitter orange, jasmine sambac, geranium, rose, saffron, orange blossom, vanilla, tonka bean, and patchouli. So the opening for this, and I guess, for a lot of the life of it actually, veers between kind of citrus on one side and floral on the other. And at times I thought the rose was going to end up coming out too forward for my taste. It kept kind of peeking out and just kind of like, I'm not really into rose. But I actually did end up liking the scent overall. Yeah, the opening is like fresh, tart citrus, and it has a green side to it as well. Slightly powdery orange blossom, and then rose with a slightly astringent geranium. So it's overall not like super rose forward. There's like some elegant jasmine, some airy saffron. I would say for a lot of the life of it, it has a distinctly sort of vintage style scent profile, particularly in the way that the slightly powdery florals are done, but not in a way where it's like, oh, that smells so dated or something like that, just to kind of give a reference if you've tried many vintage ones. And then by the end, it segues into kind of a somewhat more modern style base where it's like a vanilla Tonka style powder, but still with some sort of like sweet floral vibes to it. And according to the Harrod site, there's also patchouli in there. I don't get a ton of that, so it's definitely not, to me at least, like the super dirty or offensive kind of patchouli, and I normally don't like patchouli much, so I think it smells nice, and I wouldn't mind smelling it on someone else by any means, but I do think that it's overpriced for kind of the scent profile and what it is, because you could get a version of like a classic vintage scent or like even, a more modern reformulated version of it for half the price or less of this. This is like $213 for a 100 milliliter bottle. And I don't mean to say, again, this doesn't smell dated with the vintage comparisons, but just since it's like that type of scent profile and style, I feel like it shouldn't be this pricey. Unisex leaning feminine to my nose, and also it has low to moderate longevity and projection. So yeah, overall I think it's like perfectly nice, and maybe you would like it more if you're into the idea of something that's kind of like citrus and floral and sort of like classic vintage, but in a slightly more modern way. Then maybe it would be worth it to you. But for me, it's just kind of like, okay, like that's perfectly nice, but I don't think that it's worth going out of the way to like pay that much for. But yeah, I'll link in the description where you can get a bottle or sample if you want to check it out.